Good. Thank you, Sarah. This President's Day, despite those freezing temperatures, free speech is being practiced by protesters as part of a nationwide effort. In Rochester, organizations have been taking part in the movement known as 50 Protests, 50 States, One Day. As part of the effort, KIMT News 3's Evan Berg took part in a march in our Skyway system downtown. He's joining us in studio now. Evan.
Jess, that's right. I got to sort of watch a march down the Skyway, one of many protests going on around the country focused around recent decisions made by the Trump administration, such as federal layoffs, harsher immigration enforcement, and foreign policy decisions. In Rochester, this Skyway walk was organized by a group of local activists called Solidarity with Palestine. The group was mainly protesting the sale of U.S. weapons to Israel amid an ongoing ceasefire in the Gaza Strip. The marchers stressed these protests weren't entirely about one administration, but broader trends in politics. As you can see, a small crowd came out to join them, but reactions from Med City pedestrians were mixed.
And today we're coming together for immigrant rights and for free Palestine and ending the funding for Israel and for other wars around the world.
And they have a right to protest. That's the freedom of our country. I do think there's an appropriate time and an appropriate place.
People in the U.S. are not used to people in the streets. It comes, it goes.
The group says the decision to hold the protest in the Skyways was made for personal safety and accessibility reasons. Back to you, Jess.
All right. Thank you, Evan. Most of the protests here in Minnesota and Iowa have wrapped up. Others are being planned for tonight in cities across the country. Ahead of today's National Day of Protests, Iowa UPS workers have been showing a united front to fight for fair contracts in Des Moines. More than a dozen USPS employees could be seen rallying in front of the city's main post office yesterday afternoon. The workers are calling for stronger contracts with improved staffing, services, and, of course, pay. In addition to better contract conditions, workers are seeking improved postal protections. Employees are calling on Congress to pass the Protect Our Letter Carriers Act, which aims to decrease crimes and assaults against federal workers while on the job.
The demands on our job, the constant overtime mandates, it does not offer a good work-life balance.
The offering that they had given us was 1.3%, and in times of rampant inflation, it's not enough. We're taking a pay cut, essentially.
In a statement, a USPS spokesperson responded to the employees' demands, saying in part, quote, "We have worked hard in the past 3 years to stabilize our workforce. We have converted more than 191,000 pre-career employees to career status since January 2021, adding that they respect their employees' rights to express their opinions and participate in informational picketing while off the clock. When Representative Randy Finstra and Zach Noon were asked about supporting the Protect Our Letter Carriers Act, both say they'll continue to approve legislation that improves working conditions for mail carriers. Returning to our cold weather conditions, it's impacting much of our region. And new just into our newsroom, Rochester Public Schools is now canceling class for all students tomorrow. All after-school activities will continue as usual and will be evaluated by the district as the day progresses. The district says a decision will then be made about those after-school activities by 3 p.m. That's if any of those activities will be called off. Outdoor time for pets should drop as temperatures do too. That's according to Leashes and Leads in Byron. The Dog Day Care Center recommends owners watch the clock in winter weather, limiting time outdoors to no more than 10 to 15 minutes in sub-zero temps. Veterinarians say owners should keep an eye out for shivering, anxious behavior, and slowed down pace. Those are warning signs of hypothermia. You may also want to consider bundling up your pup in a sweater or putting on some paw protection when going for a quick winter walk.
You definitely want to prevent any frostbite or walking in salt that's going to be harmful to their paws.
Now, if you have an outdoor dog or cat, you will likely know it's state law in Minnesota and Iowa to have an insulated environment like a doghouse or garage for them. If your dog has a thin coat, sweaters are also recommended. Sarah.
Thank you very much, Jess. Yeah, you know it is cold outside, and when it's cold for us, it's cold for them. Make sure you bundle up if you're going outside too, and maybe get inside quickly after that.
Welcome back. We're getting a check of our forecast because it is freezing outside. Stepping foot out there, it is not enjoyable. Storm Track 3 meteorologist Sarah Knox keeping an eye on it all for us, of course. Sarah, as we see the sun set, feeling even colder, which is hard to believe, getting into those negative temps and just not enjoying it.
Not at all. No, walking outside is not enjoyable. Nah, you immediately feel it as you step outside the door. We've got these dry conditions and, of course, the brutal cold. Now, with the sun setting, things are only going to get colder. That's what we're seeing in Charles City. That sun has descended, not the entire way. We just see a nice long shadow across the city itself. So things are expected to keep dropping, and they have. In Charles City, we're sitting at 6 below right now. Temperatures have not been able to get above the 0 mark for many of us across the area today. We'll factor in the winds. They're not crazy, but crazy enough to push things down to a real feel of 25 below. So as you can imagine, cold temperatures only going to get colder. Satellite and radar showing one reason why: clear skies. It was great to have the sunshine. No, we couldn't really feel the sunshine, but it was nice to see it. That translates into clear skies overnight, which means maximum cooling will take place. A few of us may see some clouds try to stream into the area just a little further north than all the activity going on south. I tell you, the dry air has settled here in the upper Midwest, we'll call it, and it's going to keep a lot of that activity further south. All right, current temps, we saw Charles City at 6 below, Rochester in the same boat, Preston dropping to 8 below, and Winona, we started off the newscast at 0 degrees, now 2 below. So temperatures already tanking pretty quick, even close to the Mississippi. Dodge Center is at 8 below as well. Now we'll factor in the winds. We get the wind chill numbers, and yes, they're pretty low, approaching 30 below for some of us, including Rochester, Mason City. So that's what it feels like on any exposed skin out there. So if you don't have gloves on, your fingers are feeling 27 below. Because of the winds blowing through. Now, future track, all I really want to show here is as we fast forward to official starting of our Tuesday, this is midnight, we keep those clear skies, we keep those northwestern winds, and yes, we're going to keep the snow too. So a fresh snowpack on the ground, light-esque winds coming in from the northwest. And yeah, the clear skies. It's going to be a cold, cold start to our Tuesday. Before we get to the start of Tuesday, we've got to get the end of our Monday. And there's a point where I'm going to have to change these bars so they're a little higher. You can see it. But as we descend into the evening, temperatures just keep falling by midnight. 30 below for our wind chills. That's crazy. It's dangerous. So imagine what it's going to be like when our temperatures, not our wind chills, our temperatures drop to 19 below, 20 below. That is why an extreme cold warning will be going into effect, and luckily a warm up next week.
at all?
You guys do you. But there's a couple of angels that are still around Austin that aren't very little punk kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'll get. Is it okay if I do this hit and then I can check? Because I'm going live in like 8 minutes.
I'll make sure the guys go out the back.
Okay. And if not, that's fine.
Right. I know everybody else kind of got their
Is your house this green and white one?
1109 right
1109. Okay. I'll knock. If that's okay.
Please.
Testing 1 2 3 4. Testing. Can you see me? Oh, okay. Cool. Thank you. Did you just see the light just now? Yeah, I did. Okay, yeah. We're preserving battery because we don't know what this cold is doing, but